man things, welcome back to the channel. I'm so sorry that I have been absent for so long. I have been very sick. Long story short, my immune system is an asshole. So I've been a little bit debilitated for the past few weeks, but I'm feeling better and now I'm back. Can't get rid of me that easily. I was naturally playing some video games while I was sick to take my mind off everything. And I want to talk about Outlast and the sequel to Outlast.
You made the right choice here, bud.
There was something about those games that felt uniquely horrifying. I think I figured it out. What is really unique about Outlast and what makes those games so anxiety-inducing is the fact that you can only run away or hide from the monsters in the game. It's a no combat game, so it's impossible for you to try to fight back. All you can do is run. I don't think that we fully realize how terrifying that is. Kind of counterintuitive, right? Like, you would think that running and hiding would be the lesser of two evils between fight or flight. You know, at least I would sort of naturally assume that running and hiding would be the less anxious option. Like, doesn't running and hiding seem less scary on the surface than trying to fight off whatever it is that's pursuing you? To me, running, you know, I've always considered myself to be flight in terms of fight or flight. I've always been like, okay, yeah, if I'm ever in a really terrible situation, if I'm ever in some sort of crisis, my plan is to run. It's just sort of second nature to me. So it's interesting that even though that's my instinct, it was actually a much scarier experience for me to play a game like Outlast where all you can do is run and hide, as opposed to a game like Resident Evil where there's multiple options for dealing with an attacker. You can run and hide, but you can also stay and fight. Fighting off your attacker, even if you are way outnumbered and if they're way stronger than you, even if you lose the fight, just being able to fight back and have some weapons or resources at your disposal to fight back gives you a sense of agency and power in the situation. A lot of times what makes this stuff so scary is feeling like you're completely out of control. So while I was gone these past few weeks, in addition to being sick, I also started working for a suicide hotline. So I've been learning a lot about how humans respond to crisis, acknowledging whatever it is that we are terrified of in the moment. Our natural impulse is to pull away from those things and to avoid them because it's scary. So it makes sense that we would want to evade things that create a fear response in us. You know, it's natural, it's logical. But what we find a lot of the time is that that's actually counterproductive. And what will really help a person to feel more in control and more stable, what helps to do that is to talk about, actually just talking about it, acknowledging its existence, sort of facing it as head-on as possible is weirdly the most effective thing you can do to move toward a sort of cool, calm state. Simply just talking about it, it's crazy how it can really help. The reason that I'm talking about this is because I think that is part of why the Outlast games are so panic-inducing. It's a pretty clumsy analogy that I'm offering right now. Having to be faced with some pretty terrifying monsters and not having the option to engage in combat with them, only being able to run away and hide from attackers. It can make you feel really weak and small. It creates a really unique sense of fear when you're only able to run and hide from these things. Well, it creates a sense of isolation and hopelessness within the main character, and then by proxy within the player. It makes it feel like there's really nothing we can do. My favorite piece of philosophy, Martin Heidegger's 1978 lecture, What is Metaphysics? I think about this all the time, especially in relation to horror games. Heidegger talks about how we humans feel an extreme sense of angst and dread whenever we engage in thoughts about death. So just pondering our own mortality and acknowledging the reality of death, it produces a very peculiar anxiety in us that Heidegger calls angst. Sometimes, like I said, it's also referred to as dread. Our natural impulse when faced with the dread of death is to run away from it and to hide from it. What Heidegger points out is that it belongs to the definition of the human intellect to ponder death. He says that it's actually within the nature of the human condition to think about these things, and our minds are never really going to feel fulfilled or at rest until we do engage with our anxieties and our thoughts about death. And he calls this being held out into the nothing, and the nothing is that peculiar sense of dread that comes with contemplating death. And he says that it belongs to the human intellect to be held out into the nothing. So what that means for this video and this point that I'm trying to make in a very roundabout, long-winded way, as you find out, you can only run and hide for so long. The lead designer of Silent Hill Shattered Memories has a really interesting quote that I would like to share with you guys. His name is Sam Barlow. When asked about the absence of combat in Silent Hill Shattered Memories, this is what he had to say. Hitchcock said that all horror goes back to childhood. That's why it's a universal thing. It's a fundamental. How many children wake up screaming because they had a dream where they beat up a zombie with a baseball bat? You wake up screaming because you ran and you got caught. We've all had those dreams where somebody's chasing after you and you're trying to run, but it's like you're moving through molasses. You just can't get your legs to work. I do think that the absence of combat produces a really unique feeling of terror in the player that you don't really get in games where combat is an option. So that's pretty much it. It's just something that I've kind of been thinking about these past few weeks that I wanted to come on and share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching and for sticking with me. Yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you. Please let me know what you think in the comments if you've played these games, or even if you haven't played these games. Just, do you agree, disagree with stuff I said? Did anything strike a chord with you? What has your experience been with this? I would be really interested to know. You guys know that I love talking to you in the comments. So, and also I'm sorry that there's no cosplay today. You just get regular old me this time, but next time there will be a cosplay, so keep a lookout for that. Yeah, if you have any ideas on other things you want me to make a video about, if you'd like a more in-depth video on Shattered Memories or Outlast or some other game, just let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I am really, really appreciative of you. If you want to hit the like button and click subscribe, turn on notifications, I would be thrilled. You can join the Man Things fam. We are a welcoming, friendly, spooky bunch. So, would love to have you. That's pretty much it. Stay safe, guys. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.